Now, continuing on to the side story of the chapter arc, we saw that Banks' crew have tried to go over the red line or under, but they can't due to the ongoing meeting of the ravine. They're actually are out of luck, actually. So we're actually gonna see them try to head over to Thriller Bark, but now we're actually gonna go to our real story right now, which only 7 days to the raid at Onigashima, where everyone have gathered enough supplies of weapons for them to complete their raid. However, Zoro actually had to give up Shunsui to Wano country. However, Hayori actually decided to give him a replacement, which Lord Oni was actually a swordsman who using two sword style, in which before his execution, she was entrusted, and so does Momonosuke trusted each two blades, which actually one of them can only have one blade, in which Momonosuke actually holds the Ame-No-Habakiri, and then she was actually entrusted the Ima, the sword claimed to scar Kaido, in which the two swords was actually forged by two famous blacksmen whose names who actually reached far and wide throughout the country. And these swords have actually honorable origins, in which we actually saw that Kawamatsu as Hayori is okay to give the sword away to someone else, in which he say that Zoro cannot wield Oden's sword, in which we actually seen him saying that Moria, sorry, one of the former warlords actually stole the sword, in which she actually asked Zoro to return Shusui to them, which he's okay of giving them back Shusui because they're going to give him a replacement sword, which he actually said that he actually saw Ryuma firsthand at Thriller Bark, which we actually knew that was actually happening. But then we actually headed back to the flower capital of the prison, where we actually saw Law actually fight with Hawkins, and then he actually was in the ground. He actually cuts him in half, in which we actually heard him that actually say about the alliance between Kid, Apu, and himself, which he revealed that they were set up, which Scratchman was actually working with Kaido. So he actually knew that he actually still working for him, which Hawkins did not. So we actually can assure that he say that chance of escape is 0%, and then chance of submit to survive is 40%. So if my math is actually correct, I'm guessing that the chance of their victory could be 100%, which we actually saw Law actually get ready to slash him, which he would have actually done on his head, which he actually escaped. With now only 6 days until the raid. Meanwhile, back in the Oden prison, we actually saw Grandpa Kia actually training Luffy on attacking Kaido, which he actually is still training in the prison, trying to attacking the jelly that pretends to be Kaido's body, which not only 5 days until the raid, but then we actually headed back over to Kiri, where Kimo actually informed everyone that they actually have the preparations ready for the raid. And with that being said, everyone is actually have gotten the message, and they all actually meeting up where they actually going to have their strategy meeting, but which the symbol that Yasu actually made actually all lead them to where they actually meet, where everyone's actually doing their strategy meeting in which they're going to strategize of how they're going to do the raid. As which they actually say that there are only two ways to enter Wano country. The first is having the codfish pull the ship up to the waterfall, which actually the techniques could be a hit and miss. The second is to enter the cave behind the waterfall, in which in the end of the cave is the port called Port Mugawa, in which we saw the description of the port where the ship enters the waterfall and then enters the port and then actually enters up as the water rises, as which the tunnel led them all the way up to the top, which is actually only impossible with the permission of Kaido, of course, as they actually traveled across, I mean, Hakumi to reach to their destination, in which we saw Scratchman actually inform Kaido that they actually can miss the Golden Kagura, which actually happens once a year, which they actually are actually having a banquet to actually celebrate their new alliance. Which, that actually being said, we actually seen everyone head over to the banquet to celebrate the alliance between Big Mom Pirates and the Beast Pirates, as we actually seen them having a huge banquet to celebrate the alliance. And that being said, we actually knew this could be a very serious battle that they're gonna have in their hands. Now we actually saw two swords that Hayuri actually described. I guess in the Amino the sword that Momonosuke actually have is white, and the Ima was actually black, or the different colors of the she is actually a different idea. But however, the meeting which they actually talk about the entrance of Wano, there are actually two different ways, as we actually see them revealed. And then we saw Hawkins inform Law that Scratchman is still continuing working under Kaido. So we actually saw that actually happens, which we knew that Kaido and Big Mom are still doing their feast, which they're celebrating for their alliance. So we're actually going to see what they're going to do on the week after next week because the manga is going on break. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment on what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, and like my Facebook page. Until then, this is Anime Guy John here saying signing out. Laters!